So, apparently this is kind of weird, but apparently my watching Wano video last night got claimed. I have, what did I do? I don't know. I mean, don't worry, nothing's wrong with it, but for whatever reason, if you're living in the country of Vietnam, apparently you're not supposed to watch it. I don't know. YouTube copyright laws are weird. Especially when, the reaction videos. What am I doing? I don't know. Oh, well, I mean, honestly, yesterday was, pretty solid overall, and, today's gonna be pretty good too. Happy Tuesday, everybody. So, yeah. Last night's episode was great. Oh man, it was great seeing Luffy and Zoro together after 2.5 years of not being together. I mean, yeah, that was something special. I always smile when they're both on screen together. I mean, they were the first two Straw Hats. It's always awesome when they're with each other, with similar dreams. Luffy wants to be king of the pirates, and Zoro wants to be the world's greatest swordsman. So they need each other, and it's awesome. Although you can tell right away what their dynamic is, which is funny. Plus, let's be honest, I thought it was hilarious how, don't eat all the meat because the animals and fish, drink the poison water. You can get sick too. It's like, maybe that's why I have a stomachache. It's funny. Oh, I can't wait to see what happens next. This was awesome. This was a good day. Yeah, so yesterday I alluded to the how good was ... actually, and it ended up being Palkia. Now, for those of you guys who haven't played the Pokemon games after Red, Blue, and Yellow, which honestly I wouldn't necessarily blame you. Either you liked Pokemon at the time or you didn't. After Red, Blue, and Yellow, the good people over at Game Freak decided that every, box cover of Pokemon should have a legendary Pokemon. For Gold, Silver, and Crystal, it was Lugia, it was Ho-Oh, Lugia, and Suicune. For Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, it was Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza. And for Diamond and Pearl, it was Dialga and Palkia. And there's actually something I'll get into about that in a minute. But around the time that it was actually Gen 4 where people realized that, there's actually kind of a theme to what Pokemon are on the box cover of each game. I mean, even looking back to the previous generations, it made sense. I mean, except for Red, Blue, and Yellow. I think Red, Blue, Yellow. The thing is, Red, Blue, and Yellow, there was also Pokemon Green, too, and they each had, Charizard, Blastoise, and Pikachu for Yellow, and Venusaur for Green. Charizard for Red, and, Blastoise for Blue. That's why they did it. But, not only did they use legendary Pokemon, starting from, oh, it's weird, a hair in my mouth. That's weird. Where was I? Oh, yeah. They not only started doing legendary Pokemon, but they actually had a theme with those legendary Pokemon. For Gold and Silver, it was the sky and the sea, respectively, because, Ho-Oh is known as the rainbow Pokemon, so rainbows are in the sky, and Lugia is known as the guardian of the sea, so let's see. Suicune doesn't really have any, well, actually I shouldn't say there is a legitimate thing, and that was, according to the lore, you're about to learn some lore, folks, in the land of Johto, there was actually a very popular tower that they worshipped Ho-Oh in. But one night, the tower burned down, and 3 Pokemon had apparently died. Ho-Oh used its power to revive them, thus creating Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. That's where Suicune comes in for Pokemon Crystal. That's the significance of it. And it was actually interesting because even though red, blue, yellow, and green had Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, ice, electric, and fire, Entei, Raikou, and Suicune are essentially those same elements almost. I mean, Raikou is meant for, lightning, and Entei is supposed to represent the volcano, which, is fire. And Suicune is supposed to represent the north wind, but it's known for being able to purify water. That's why it's a water type. But even though it's not an ice type, Suicune can learn water attack, so there you go. That's how it works. And so that's like the genuine theme going on for Gold, Silver, Crystal. For I mentioned this way back when I talked about Groudon and Kyogre, but Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza are the land, sea, and the sky, respectively. That's their significance in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. But for Diamond and Pearl, Dialga and Palkia are represent time and space, as in actual of the four dimensions of time and space. Basically our universe. In fact, a lot of ancient Pokemon lore was developed in the fourth generation, which is where Dialga and Palkia are from. Although, since I mentioned that, you had essentially, technically 4 games for Gen 1, 3 games for Gen 2, and 3 games for Gen 3. Were there 3 games for Generation 4? Yeah, there were. But I'll be getting to talking about that next week, provided that they actually talk about the particular Pokemon I'm referring to. Although I will say that the game that I've yet to mention is the game that brought me back into the series. And you know what that does remind me as well? I'll mention that one whenever we do get into talking about it. But yeah, I hope they talk about this particular Pokemon. I don't want to give it away in case anyone, doesn't know. But it should be really exciting to, talk about later. Let's see what else is there. Tonight, new episode of America's Got Talent. Can't wait to watch more of that. That should be really fascinating. Can't wait to see that. I think, are the judges' cuts done? I forget if they are. I forget if there's one more round of judges' cuts that they need to do before they move on. Oh, well, one thing I want to mention, I really hope we do a good job of pointing the camera at the screen whenever I'm doing the Watching Wano episodes, because I want to make sure pretty obvious it's not in English, and obviously I have the subtitles on, so I want to make sure you guys are able to read it just fine, which you should be able to. I mean, luckily, for whatever reason, my computer screen is so shiny that it even under the setting that I am on, I can sort of see my reflection. So that way, because the screen on the camera is pointed at the computer screen, I can sort of angle it so it fits. So that's pretty much what I try and do. Again, if there's a problem, just let me know. I'll be happy to try and fix it. Again, I'm only just now starting to get the hang of this, and Rome was never built in a day. Well, actually, yes, it was built in a day. It was built by Chuck Norris. We all know this. Yeah. You know what? 590 days in, and I swear I think that's the first Chuck Norris joke I've ever done. Well, that does remind me, I do need to prepare for my State of My Being address in about 10 days. Oh, it's going to be 10 days from now. I've been doing this for almost 600 days. That's cool. Wow. It is cool, but I'd rather get into talking about it when we get to that moment. Although, the cool thing about when I do the State of My Being address, it is going to be on a Friday. That's going to be sweet. You know, so, yeah, well, what was I about to say? Yeah, it's going to be on a Friday, and so, you know, it'll be a great day to, you know, get readers and stuff. That'd really cool. Although, that does remind me, because, you know, I follow readers on, you know, Facebook, and they mentioned that they're thinking about having pumpkin flavored stuff before September 1st. Now, I will admit, the inner white girl inside me was all too excited. But the inner realistic person got to thinking, on the one hand, as much as I really do like pumpkin flavored stuff, you know, it is maybe a little bit early for it. You know, just because, I mean, the leaves hadn't even started turning different colors yet. We're not even halfway through August yet. So, I mean, it's a nice, I mean, it isn't, I mean, it's the right enough time to think about it. But in terms of it being too early to actually go through with it, I don't know. I can tell you that regardless of whichever they decide to choose, you're going to bring about either a lot of joy or a lot of anger amongst all white girls in the area. I'll say that much. So yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to, you know, pumpkin flavored stuff. I mean, it's tradition around this time of year. And, you know, it doesn't just limit my, sorry, I just lost my train of thought there. I mean, what was like the very first, you know what the first time I ever got into pumpkin flavor or anything? It was literally like, homecoming weekend of, my senior year of high school, where this was around the time that Dunkin' Donuts, I think this was like the very first time Dunkin' Donuts decided to make the pumpkin muffin. So I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I have to try it. And so, you know, I did. So I went to, I think it was the morning of a homecoming. So I went to Dunkin' Donuts, got myself a pumpkin spice donut, and I immediately headed to the, it was early enough during the day, you know, I had like, you know, several hours to, you know, digest or whatever, so, you know, it was cool. So, yeah. Actually, if I remember correctly, we lost homecoming senior year. And it really wasn't under the best circumstances. In fact, probably should stop talking about that right now. So, yeah. I mean, I always did look forward to homecoming. Homecoming, like, dances in general are always really cool. I mean, yeah, I never really did have a date to anyone except for one, but that's a story for another time. But, you know, I did get to, you know, dance around, and, you know, I would always ask girls if, you know, they did want to dance, and, you know, I mean, I was never creepy like that. I didn't just walk up and dance to them. No, I always asked politely, because, you know, that's what a gentleman does. You know, I'm not creepy like that. It's weird. You know, I'm not going to do that. And so, yeah. I mean, actually, I should stop talking about this before I bring up a plethora of emotions that I'd rather not get into for a few months. So, yeah. Come to think of it, I'm pretty sure, well, actually, Trinity Pawling didn't really have homecoming. Because I was going to say, if I did include Trinity Pawling, and considering that I would say that alumni weekend was homecoming, I would say that my the football team that I was rooting for or I was on is 2-3. Wow, I am just not doing a good job of bringing up good memories, am I? You gotta save this somehow. I don't know what to do. Someone help me. I don't know. It's one of those things. I mean, Yeah, I mean, actually, Charity Pong, even though I ran cross country, it's still, well, I did run cross country, but, it didn't really, the football team still lost, but that's a story for another day. Although, I will admit, though, it was around alumni weekend at Trinity Pauling that, I started feeling a lot better about myself. Of course, I started feeling completely all better when a certain event happened. It is something I have talked about before, but I'll bring it up again in a few months. Like, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on social media platforms. Turn on the notifications. I am humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I am hopeful you have a wonderful Tuesday. And remember, for you guys who want to talk, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices.